It is 5 o'clock on this Thursday evening, August 27th, 2020. It's time now for the Peter Channel 5 o'clock news on this Thursday evening, August 27th, 2020. The time is 5 o'clock on this Thursday evening, and the mountain temperature is 66 degrees. Top stories on the Peter Channel 5 o'clock news, and just into our newsroom. The Boston Red Sox will not play versus the Toronto Blue Jays tonight in Buffalo after Jackie Bradley Jr. decided to sit out as having a night with his thoughts. Jackie Bradley Jr. decided not to play tonight's game against the Toronto Blue Jays at 6:37 p.m. and that's been postponed due to Jackie Bradley Jr. sitting out. Okay, let's take a look at the other news headlines at 5 o'clock. Nancy Pelosi isn't doing Joe Biden any favors in the debate over debates. In Lake Charles, Louisiana, chemical plant on fire in the wake of Hurricane Laura as it brought a tornado threat after Louisiana landfall and Lake Charles severely damaged. Peaceful protests in Kenosha, Wisconsin has demonstrated remember shooting victims. CDC defends controversial new guidelines for coronavirus testing as everybody who wants the test does not necessarily need a test. Ivanka Trump, in RNC speech to say father took on Biden's failed policies of the past. U.S. Postal Service is telling people their mail is being held at the request of the customer. It isn't true. Nancy Pelosi said there should be any debate. Immigrants not just at White House with surprise visit from Trump did not know it would be aired at the Republican National Convention. Wisconsin called to invite Vice President Mike Pence to speak. New York City's Museum of Art reopens after 5 months. Hundreds of thousands of homes are in businesses without electricity in Louisiana and Texas Thursday, as at least 3 people are dead after Hurricane Laura arrived on land as a Category 4 storm. More than 1 million American adults quit smoking between 2012 and 2018 after seeing a message from the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention tips from former smokers campaign according to the figures released. Amazon unveiled Thursday a Tale Fitness Band, which monitors physical and mental health measures. The Food and Drug Administration has given emergency use the fourth stage for a low-cost rapid response COVID-19 test that could produce results on a small card. The U.S. economy plunged by nearly 32% in the second quarter of 2020, the steepest quarterly decline in history, the Commerce Department said in a vast estimate on Thursday. Dow weekly trades positive for 2020 as markets closed flat. As the Dow up 160.22 points at 2492.14. S&P 500 up 5.82 at 3484.35. And Nasdaq down 39.72 at 11625.34. China fires reported ship-killed missiles into South China Sea. Putin uses Jacob Blake shooting to call U.S. and European Union hypocrites. New Zealand's Christchurch mosque shooter sentenced to life without parole. France COVID-19 mask rule for Parisians amid undeniable surge. Some Boston restaurants are adding COVID-related fees to checks. Tufts Medical Center introduces its first in-house service dog. Elon Musk's net worth over $100 million as Tesla stock soars 400%. President Trump announced deal with Abbott Laboratories for 150 million rapid COVID-19 tests. Rare meteorites show how the Earth got its life-giving water. Inside a dinosaur egg, this baby wasn't what researchers expected. 250 million years ago, they hibernated at the bottom of the world. ULA calls off launch of the triple-core Delta IV heavy rocket will try again on Saturday. 6 feet may not be enough to protect against coronavirus, experts warn. EU signed contract with AstraZeneca on supply of potential COVID-19 vaccine. Animals most at risk for coronavirus include reindeer and dolphins, according to the study. Peter Channel News Time, 5:04. Despite some progress, people have called taunts racism as since the death of George Floyd. Discussions about racism in America have been revived, with people discussing and arguing over social media about the extent of the problem and sometimes what are the problem. The Massachusetts Gaming Commission met on Thursday morning, addressing the blatant violations of coronavirus pandemic regulations and called for accountability at Encore Casino, Boston Harbor. Massachusetts at greater risk of hurricanes this year. Suspect in Buckton stop and gas murder arrested in New Hampshire. Wednesday, parents rally for more in-person classes as parents say all students should be back in school part-time come fall. Peter Channel News Time is 5 minutes after 5 on this Thursday evening, and it is time now to take a look at the sports scene. We all heard that the Boston Red Sox Toronto Blue Jays game has been postponed due to protests, and NBA players met on Thursday morning and decided to continue the 2020 playoffs in light of the earlier protests in Orlando, as the Boston Celtics and the Toronto Raptors Game 1 at Eastern Conference Semifinals has been postponed to another date. More NFL teams joined Washington and Detroit Lions in canceling football activities to focus on racial injustice, and the same goes for the NBA and WNBA among professional sports leagues boycotting games. Jason Day reaches out to Tiger Woods for advice on back issues, and Kyle Korver apologized for Jaylen Brown defends Bucks boycotting without warning other teams. Peter Channel News Time, 5:07, 7 minutes after 5 on this Thursday evening, and it's time now to take a look at the traffic and transit check on this Thursday evening. Beep! On the MBTA subway system looking good, commuter rail, and the fares, they are all looking good. Okay, let's take a look at the highways and byways of New England on this Thursday evening. '95 on the southbound side, a little bit slow between Pawtucket and Providence. '95 on the northbound side, a little bit slow around downtown Providence. 195 on the westbound side, a little bit slow between East Providence and the downtown Providence. 146 on the northbound side, a little bit slow around Salesville Road and North Smithfield, Rhode Island. 138 on the westbound side, a little bit slow around Jamestown, but Jamestown, Newport, and Saginaw Bridge is out. Looking good while the Mountain Bridge on the northbound side, a little bit slow. And down in the Cape, Route 6 on the westbound side, a little bit slow around Route 134 in Harwich, Massachusetts, and then Route 6 on the eastbound side, goes up to Route 130 in Dunwich, Massachusetts, and the Seymour Bridge on the eastbound side, a little bit slow, and Route 3 eastbound, a little slow before Route 6 in the Seymour area. Bourne Bridge on the southbound side, a little bit slow. Twain on the northbound side, a little bit slow before the Bourne Rotary. Route 3 on the southbound side, a little slow between Route 44 and Plymouth and Plymouth Plantation Highway. 95 on the southbound side, a little bit slow between South Main Street and turning down to Route 152 in North Attleboro. 24 southbound side, a little bit slow between 128 and Canton all the way down to Route 27 in Rockton, and then 24 southbound side, hit the back scan between 495 and Raynham all the way down to Route 140 in the Taunton area. 495 southbound side, a little bit slow after Route 24 out in the Raynham area, and Route 3 to the southbound side, a little slow between the Braintree split all the way down to Route 18 in Waverton all the way down to Derby Street in Hingham, and Route 3 to the southbound side, a little bit slower, Route 139 in Marshfield. Boston vicinity, 120 to the southbound side, a little bit slower between Route 1A out in Dedham all the way down to the 24 out in Canton. 120 on the northbound side, a little bit slow between the Braintree split all the way down to 24 in Canton. 120 to the southbound side, a little slow to the Braintree split. And Southwest Expressway on the southbound side, slow between 203 out in Dorchester all the way down to 128 out in Braintree. Southwest Expressway on the northbound side, also around the Dorchester area between 203 waited in the gas tanks and Morrissey Boulevard. Southwest Expressway southbound side, a little bit slow between the Mass Pike in Boston all the way down to the Mass Ave and Morrissey Boulevard. 128 out in Weston. Up north, 3 in the northbound side, a little bit slow after Route 129 out in the Billerica area, and Route 3 on the northbound side, a little slow before Route 129 out in Billerica. 1 train to the southbound side, a little bit slow before Route 3 out in Burlington. 1 train on the northbound side, a little bit slow around between 93 and 20 down in the Brennan area. 93 on the northbound side, slow between 495 out in Lawrence all the way down to the New Hampshire-Massachusetts border, and 495 on the northbound side, a little bit slow between Lawrence all the way down to Haverhill. And 95 on the northbound side, a little bit slow in Hampton Tolls, and 495 on the southbound side, a little bit slow before 290 out in Marlborough. Central Mass highways are looking good, and out in Western Mass, back on the eastbound side, a little bit slow in the Chicopee stretch, and 84 on the eastbound side, a little bit slow in the Hartford area, and 84 on the westbound side, a little bit slow between Prospect down to Waterbury, Connecticut, and then 84 on the eastbound side, a little bit slow between Denbury and Newtown, Connecticut. Merritt Parkway on the westbound side, a little bit slow between Wallingford all the way down to Orange, Connecticut, and Merritt Parkway on the eastbound side, a little bit slow between Orange, Connecticut, down to Wallingford, Connecticut. 95 on the southbound side, a little bit slow in Greenwich, Connecticut, and 95 on the northbound side, slow between Stamford down to Bridgeport, Connecticut, and 95 on the southbound side, a little bit slow between Guilford, Oregon, and East Haven, Connecticut. 91 on both ends back between Wallingford and New Haven, Connecticut. 95 on the northbound side, a little slow between Milford and New Haven, Connecticut. 395 on the southbound side, a little bit slow before Route 95 and after 95 out of New London area, and 395 on the southbound side, a little slow in Montville, Connecticut. Up in northern New England. 95 on the northbound side, a little bit slow in the Hampton Tolls, and up in northern New England. Main highways, 95 on the northbound side, a little bit slow around Old Town, Maine, and 95 on the northbound side, a little slow on Midway, Maine, and New Hampshire highways are looking good, except the 93 on the northbound side, a little bit slow around 93, around 101 in Manchester, New Hampshire, and 91 northbound side, a little bit slow in Clever, Vermont, and 91 on both ends back on the upstate Vermont, around the Vermont Canadian border, and 89 northbound side, so before Quebec. Peter Channel News Time, 5:11. Time now for weather report. The latest on Hurricane Law now tropical storm, 50 mile per hour wind gusts of 50 miles an hour, and a minimum set temperature of 991 millibars. Located at 33.5 to the north, 92.8 to the west. The movement northeast at 15 miles an hour. And tropical storm force winds, especially in gusts, will continue near the center of lower over portions of extreme northern Louisiana and Arkansas this evening. Flash flooding along small streams, urban areas, and roadways will continue across portions of Louisiana, Mississippi, and Arkansas. Additional rainfall will also lead to minor and moderate freshwater river flooding. The heavy rainfall threat and flash and urban flooding potential will spread northeastward into the middle Mississippi and lower Ohio and Tennessee valleys and middle United States on Friday and Saturday. A few tornadoes are possible this evening across central and eastern Arkansas into Mississippi. The risk of a few tornadoes should be redeveloping Friday afternoon and evening across parts of the mid-south and Tennessee Valley region. Meanwhile, close to home, we had a cool start to our morning, and then the clouds came and we had showers and a rumble of thunder in the northern area and around the region. As take a look at the radar shows. Where's my radar? Where's my radar? There you go. We're seeing a line of rain showers stretching the line from Chatham, Massachusetts, all the way down to the south of Massachusetts and much of Rhode Island, and down to southeastern Massachusetts, and then a heavy band of rain showers and thunderstorms stretching the line from New Haven, Connecticut, all the way down to Katona, New York. And on lines of showers and thunderstorms stretching the line from Poughkeepsie, New York, all the way down south of Rochester, New York, and down to Buffalo, New York, and down to northwestern portions of PA. And they are headed towards the southeast, and we're seeing a little line of rain showers from Gloucester, Massachusetts, all the way up to eastern Nashua and Manchester, New Hampshire, and rain showers along Route 3 from Sagamore all the way up to Plymouth. And a line of rain showers stretching the line from Gloucester, Massachusetts, all the way to Rutland, Vermont, and up in the upstate New York. Okay, let's take a look at the forecast discussion. A slow-moving front lingers just south of New England tonight, while an area of low pressure moving along the front moves offshore. Showers and thunderstorms will gradually diminish and move south of our area this evening, with mainly dry conditions overnight. Dry and warm weather briefly returns to the area Friday before more showers and thunderstorms return Friday night into Saturday evening ahead of an approaching cold front. Drier, less humid, and cooler weather returns Sunday into early next week, and a taste of fall featuring mild days and cool nights. As of 4:30 p.m., the slow moving front boundary was drifted across the south coast of New England with a weak surface low moving along the front. Showers of thunderstorms will continue to trek along the south coast of New England this evening, with isolated to scattered showers of lesser intensity to the north. All convection should diminish in coverage after sunset, and as the surface low moves east offshore, and after midnight, expect dry clouds to prevail with some decrease of clouds, and may see areas of stratus and fog develop during the night. The lows range from mid-50s to low 60s. Okay. Forecast. It goes like this. A chance of showers and thunderstorms before 9 p.m. Then a slight chance of showers between 9 p.m. and midnight. Patch of fog up to 11 p.m. Otherwise, mostly cloudy with a low about 58 degrees on light and purple wind. Precipitation is 30%, and new precipitation amounts of less than 10 inches possible, except high amounts possible in thunderstorms. For Friday, mostly sets to have at 81 degrees, calm wind coming west around 6 miles an hour in the afternoon. For Friday night, a chance of showers before 1 a.m., then a chance of showers and thunderstorms between 1 and 5 a.m. Then showers likely and possibly a thunderstorm after 5 a.m. Mostly cloudy with a low around 66 degrees on light south wind. Precipitation is 60%, and the rainbow amounts less than 10 inches possible, except high amounts possible thunderstorms for Saturday. Showers and thunderstorms likely, then showers and possibly a thunderstorm afternoon. High near 79 degrees, south about 3 to 8 miles an hour with a gust size 23 miles an hour. Precipitation is 80%. For Saturday night, showers and thunderstorms likely, meaning for midnight, mostly cloudy with a low at 62 degrees, southwest about 6 miles an hour becoming west after midnight. Precipitation is 60%. And for Sunday, sun skies have about 76 at a low 53 degrees, and northwest about 3 to 9 miles an hour with gust size 23 miles an hour. And for Monday, sun skies with a high around 75 and a low 54 degrees, and light northwest wind with a calm wind. And for Tuesday, most of the sun skies have at 76, low 59 degrees, and calm wind coming south around 3 to 6 miles an hour in the afternoon. And for Wednesday, a 30% chance of the shower and thunderstorm. Mostly clouds can have at 76, low 64 degrees, south about 5 to 9 miles an hour with gust size 20 miles an hour. Chance is 30%. A precipitation chance. And for Thursday, a chance of showers and thunderstorms. Partly says can have at 82 degrees. And currently in Norton, it is overcast and 66 degrees. And that is going to be it by the Peter Channel 5 o'clock news on this August 27th, 2020, on a Thursday evening. I'm Peter Wiggins. Hope you have a good evening with a goodbye day to stay safe, be positive, be healthy, and be well. I will see you at 10 o'clock for 10 o'clock report. Hope you have a good evening.